Hi, welcome to ReikiMove YouTube channel. My name is Diana, I'm the founder of ReikiMove, and I thought I would do a quick, very brief introduction just to myself, who I am, and why is that I'm here and what I would like to teach you here. Why is it a passion for me to talk about the energy body and how did I get here? Obviously, my story is full of obstacles and different challenges during my life, and I thought it may be quite interesting for you to hear, and it may feel like, oh, I've gone through similar stuff, just to show you that we are all humans, we all make mistakes, we all have difficulties, but the real important thing is that you actually manage to overcome them, and one obstacle after the other, but you keep going, you keep adjusting, you're getting rid of the dust, you stand back up and you keep going. And this is what my story is about, and I thought I would like to say a quick few words. If you think that you rather dive into your energy healing activities and exercises, skip this one and I won't get offended. You can have a look at the other videos, so don't worry. So who I am, my name is Diana Berecki. I'm from Hungary. Not sure if you've been, it's a lovely place. Now I'm living in London. This is my little flat here. And originally I'm from a quite materialistic family. I didn't really know when I was a kid, obviously, that I'm going to be involved in any spiritual kind of activity. I graduated from sociology. So I have a master's degree in sociology, which is very interesting science. Not sure how much knowledge you have on that, but I remember when I was about to start uni and people asked me, so what will you learn? And then I said, I'm going to be a sociologist. I'm feeling really proud. And then people looked at me, not really understanding what is that about. Like, so you're going to be unemployed then? Well, in different countries it might be a different situation, but that's how much motivation I got basically to finally get through my my master's degree studies. But had some amazing time. I managed to travel a lot, managed to work in the US as well as a lifeguard. I know there it's like really low level job, but you know, when you're a student it's amazing. I managed to get to know so many amazing people, lots of great experiences, and that helped me to broaden my horizon, you know, on the whole world basically. I got to know so many different people from different cultures, and I really was interested in, you know, the sort of dynamics between different cultures and how people get along with each other, etc. So that was a really lovely time, and then wondering how on earth will I get into my first job. And I was really lucky. I managed to get through to Unilever, where I started to work in marketing. And that's where I actually found my very first big obstacles in a way. How do you actually deal with people who are slightly different to you? What I mean is that I'm from the suburbs. I'm more of a country girl, let's say. I'm from a smaller city in Hungary, and when you all of a sudden you turn up in a big blue chip company, everyone is, you know, graduated from the biggest, best universities of the whole country, and they're looking at you like, how you could even get in here if you didn't study economy. You know, I was quite proud of myself. I got through the interview process, and when you get that sort of energy, it really makes it difficult for you, right? Even if you try to keep your enthusiasm up, then they really manage to break it down slightly. Where I really got some help from is my own hobby. I think it's really important to have your own hobby where you get all the positive energy, where you can recharge yourself. For me, it's dancing. I've danced since I was a little kid. I was doing majorette for at least 10 years. We had a lovely little group there, and we toured around Europe, and I was doing different sort of musicals, the Nachtr musicals, if any of you is familiar with that, in Germany. So it was a little lovely experience, and helped me to see the world from a different angle. And then later this experience helped me to teach people to move, and what sort of joy and fulfillment can come from knowing how you can move your body So this is how my whole relationship started with certain exercises. I became a dance teacher, and I was also doing like gym training sessions, because I thought it just is a second job or hobby, however you want to call it, because I love dealing with people and helping them out, and just to see how much it helps for your mental health as well, not just your physical health. Obviously, we try to lose weight, we want to look good, but overall what really started to concern me is that everyone is so focused on the calories they burn, all on numbers. We have these amazing new watches where you can track everything, it's all about numbers. And I feel like sometimes we forget about those really important, or maybe even more important things that you can't measure with numbers. I'm talking about emotions, feelings here. Obviously, it's great. You're gonna feel great, obviously, to go do a workout. It's important. It's necessary for your health. You're gonna feel that instant adrenaline rush through your veins after you finish your class, or endorphin rush, and it's all amazing. But what else is there? You can still get to burnout stage if you're just focusing on the goal of looking good, of looking healthy, of getting slimmer. But there's much more to feeling healthy, and that is the mindset, that is the mental health part, that is the finding your own happiness, what you're looking for in life to really accomplish overall what you wanted. And I think we keep going in this weird wheel in our Western world, in Western culture, because that's what the world is about, right? It's all about profit, it's all about numbers, we keep going, it's all about the growth. It's exciting because obviously it's some sort of exciting competition after all. You can still find yourself in it, you can still embrace yourself, but it's easy to get to burnout stage pretty quickly and easily, without understanding then why you're stuck, what is the real issue, how on earth I'm going to move forward. So without going into too much details, then here I got hit with this sort of feeling as well myself, although I was really glad that I came to London just to further explore the world, to see what else is out there. I didn't have any particular job, I had no idea what I'm going to do, but I thought I love English language. I had my best friend living here, so I thought, bye, see you everyone, I'm coming to London, here we go. I came with one luggage, with 1 month of salary from Hungary, which didn't last too long. I remember I had lots of porridge. At least I love it. So here I come, London, and a small girl in a big city, and it's just so hard really to get your career started, even if you feel like you have a good degree, if you feel like you've worked at a great company, like I started with Unilever. I thought it's great names, and still I was put down by so many people and agencies because they simply said, sorry, you don't have UK experience. And I was like, okay, but how can I just get it started? The simplest, easiest job I'm happy with, just so I can prove myself. And they said, we're really sorry, but the truth is you don't really have too much options here, and we hate to say that. So in a very polite, nice way, trying to motivate you, but at the same time telling you that it's a no-go. And again, these are the points I think which are really important, and what might be different in every person's mindset, if you're a positive or negative person, on how you actually perceive these kind of situations, to actually take away the positives of I'm still going to try and look for a solution. So I kept going. Obviously, first I was let down, and I'm gonna say I came out with a yay, let's celebrate mood. First I was very angry and upset, and I still carried on, built some relationships in the city. Again, I can say lots of thanks to my friends, and huge thanks to the person who hired me in finance in the city. And it was an amazing opportunity for me to prove myself, to feel myself settled again. But then again, you're facing different sort of stress situation. You always feel like, okay, you made the next step, but what's coming next, right? And then you're facing people in the team who might be different cultures. I'm sure in this multinational globalization going on kind of world, I'm sure you're all facing similar situations at some point in your life where I feel like, okay, it's all great, I feel like I'm doing my best, I'm nice with everyone, but there's something off. Maybe I'm not fitting in well. What's wrong? What's going off here? And this is where you start losing yourself. This is where you start losing your own confidence, because you're trying so hard to please others. You're trying so hard to be the perfect whoever in that title, that you're actually getting yourself, without knowing, subconsciously on the wrong track. And this is where I felt like I'm a bit stuck. I need some sort of inspiration, something to get me out of it. And obviously I went back to my hobby, dancing. I loved it. Obviously in London, you can imagine there are lots of amazing opportunities. I absolutely love my dance classes still. Picked up new hobbies. I was first very interested in crystal healing. I bought amazing crystal bracelets. I first went mental about them. I couldn't stop buying them, and every single one I bought, then I started reading about it. What do? Like they were some sort of miracle, bringing magic into your world kind of thing. And I absolutely loved it, because then I wanted to feel it, I wanted to experience it. I was testing these gemstones, see if they do anything different, what am I feeling about them. And that continuously evolved, and then took me to the next step, where I was wondering what's behind this. Because some of them really did work, I thought, and I wasn't sure if it's me going mad or if there's something really happening there. I'm sure when you start experiencing it, and if not the way you've been living your life so far, it's still a sort of a believe it or not sort of scenario. So it took me a while to digest it, to absorb, to understand. I started buying books about crystals, and then I started buying books about the energy body itself, to learn about the main chakras. I attended lots of webinars from the biggest so-called chakra masters in the world, and they got me hooked, because then I saw that it's not a belief system, it's just something that we don't learn about, that something still is a sort of niche in our Western culture, although if you think about it, everything is energy. It's not something, not a question like, do you believe in God or not? Energy is everything. Basically, even your own thought is energy. And you create energy, basically you need matter and movement. So by simply doing this pumping movement with your hand, you're basically creating energy. And now what I'm doing, I'm opening my hand palm chakra. That's simply by creating energy, bringing energy into that particular field of the body. And obviously it's multi-dimensional, and it's all related. Here everything is related to everything. What makes it really hard to understand is that you don't clearly see it. The closest we managed to get to it was the aura picture. I'm sure you've all seen those very glorious, beautiful, very colorful pictures. So you see that it's not just your body, not just the materialistic body, but it's outside of you as well. And we all have different width of our aura, and this is when we pick up on lots of more things if something coming close to us. And also with the energy, we are all connected in the universe. That's another amazing fact which took me a while to absorb and understand, that after getting into these crystals and learning about the energy body, doing yoga, because obviously back then that was the closest I could get with connecting movement with the sort of playing with the energy and balance it all out. And then I was wondering what shifts I'm seeing in my own life, and things started to change. Tiny changes, but things started to shift into the right directions. And obviously it's not something you notice from one day to the other, but in a couple of months time, definitely. And they became very spooky. I kept asking my friends and family, like, all right, this is weird, right? This is now really weird. I'm I'm not a witch or something like that. I'm not believing in this, but this is now odd. And when so many coincidences come after the other, then you start questioning, are there actual coincidences or everything happens for a reason? I used to say, oh, these are just coincidences and I got lucky. And then there became way too many of those. And then you start understanding your own energy body. And then you realize there is definitely a connection there. And then I understood the power of manifestation, the power of my own thoughts, how much I am actually adding to creating my own reality. All your fears and worries, you're putting it out there and they will happen, as scary as it is. And then I wanted to learn and see new ways on how I can shift from the negative mindset or getting rid of these negative emotions, because they create all those unbalances in your chakras, in the main energy points of the body. And they distort the balance, meaning that with each chakra represents a particular area of your life, and if it gets out of balance, it means that you're not in a healthy stage. So at the beginning, it's just like, let's say, the heart chakra as an example, easy one, everyone can understand. What is that about? It's about relationships, love, and if it's in the balance, this is when you have healthy self-love, and you can maintain a good balanced relationship with others, finding a loving relationship. If you get too much energy into that particular area, it means that you're having excessive qualities, and that is when someone is really clingy. That's when you are like, you feel like you can't exist without a relationship, and you don't have enough self-confidence, self-love for yourself to just stay on your own, and that's when you rather stay in toxic relationships. I'm sure you've seen plenty of those examples. The other end of the scale, when we call your chakra has deficient qualities, is that when your heart is closed, you build up barriers and you are becoming a little bit insensitive to certain things and try to close everything away from you. So basically closing your heart. But it could be, as a first thought, it could sound something that which is safe. You are trying to protect yourself. I get that. But while you don't experience being hurt or any sadness, you are not getting the opposite end of the scale either. So you're closing your heart. It means that you are not experiencing love either. So this is where we have to open up to some level to actually have both positives and negatives in our life. There is no happiness without sadness. There is no love without sometimes heartbreak in our lives. And as painful as it is, we have to experience it, because then it's in our own power to deal with it. And that is the key. By knowing and learning about your own energy body, you're getting an amazing key, an amazing solution, how you can actually heal your heart if it comes to a heartbreak. And you're getting much more power and confidence in finding the right ways to the right path, if that makes sense. So everything becomes just easier and lighter for you. And I haven't even mentioned how I got to Reiki, right? Oh, I love talking. Now you see I'm already in 18 minutes and I wanted to do like a 10 minutes intro, but here we go. Obviously you have the option to switch off at any second here. So after learning about the chakras, etc., a good friend of mine at work told me about Reiki itself, that she's going to a Reiki retreat. And I was like, oh, that's interesting, because my grandma used to practice Reiki on my granddad back then when he was in the hospital. And to be honest, in Hungary, people looked at her like, oh, this is weird. This must poor old lady, must be something wrong with her, but we understand because it's a different situation. So and I realized that maybe now, learning about all this energy field, anything what's going on outside, I'm actually interested. So I signed up myself for my first Reiki course, and yes, it was something out of this world. I still couldn't decide if I believe it or not, because I could feel it. I could definitely feel during the attunement, the energy, what was happening. People can doubt if it's the placebo effect or not, but what was very interesting is that you definitely develop a new sense here. I was treating a lady when we had to pair up, and when we were practicing, I actually asked to be a partner of the lady who was the most closed and who said that no, I still don't believe it. It wasn't convincing at all, but I still came because I paid for it. I was like, right, I want to be your partner because I'm still in the stage that, you know, I thought this is the best experiment. I don't want to practice with someone who is just like feeling everything already and seeing all sorts of colors, because I needed convincing myself. And I was giving her Reiki, was doing the traditional hand-on treatment. And it was unbelievable that at certain points of her body, I felt different energy. Because it's like closing the word out, and it's like developing a new sense, which is entirely new to you, right? It's not something that we learn or pick up. It's something we develop definitely during our lives, but we just don't know what that is, I guess, because we are not taught about it, and we just say, yeah, it's gut instinct, and we leave it there. So I felt something different in her neck area, and then after you go through your treatment, you have to discuss. And then I told her what I felt. Obviously, as a Reiki practitioner, you're not necessarily sure what is that. I cannot treat it, I'm not a doctor, but it shows very important points there where you need to focus on. And then later you can do those chakra healing exercises, meditation, or Reiki itself, which will speed up the body's own natural healing process. So I felt something different on her neck, and I wasn't even sure what I'm talking about, because I was sure it's just weird, but look, this is what I felt. And then that lady told me that she had throat cancer and she survived it, and it's pretty recent, and that's why she started to look into this. So that was mind-blowing. I remember still we were standing there looking at each other like, whoa, maybe just another coincidence. So again, I leave it to you to decide if you believe in coincidences or not. For me, there were way too many, so now I don't anymore. And I just thought it's a journey that I really would like to share with you. And these times when we went under lockdown, I'm sure we all had our own challenges. We all have our different experiences, how we managed to take an advantage and use of the extra time that we got by simply the fact that you had to stay at home. And this is where I went further than just doing simple Reiki treatment by hand on hand. Obviously I couldn't do it anyway, right? And I started to mix up certain different movements and chakra energizing and activating movements. I was doing it actually for myself. I didn't come up with it to sell it. I didn't come up with it as a business idea at all. I want you to know it. It's important. I was actually treating myself because I went through some hard times. I had my second engagement and it didn't work out. I felt like it's not the right thing for me for lots of different reasons, and I started a new life. And yeah, I was heartbroken and I had other stuff going on in the background, and I started to heal myself. I was doing everything I possibly could to come back stronger. I was doing lots of yoga sessions. I was doing lots of reading and learning about the energy body. So I was doing everything I possibly could on my own body. I was using my crystals, and basically I built up my own little morning routine, which is now what I call ReikiMove, where I was using certain chakra point activating exercises. I was doing little meditation, and I was doing Reiki itself. And one day I thought, as we couldn't see the friends, I invited my best friends on a Zoom session and asked them to join me one morning. None of them were into meditation or any of this. They only joined because they wanted to see me and just to catch up, to be honest with you. So thank you again for that. And they came out of this session feeling like, whoa, something happened here. Something is definitely happening, and we want to join again. You should be doing this. And that sort of feedback, when you feel it's really coming from the heart and it's not someone just telling you because it's something you want to hear, I thought maybe this is the way for me to help people, because it really helped me. I came back honestly like a new person, and in a really, really, really small amount of time. And we all want to show how strong we are, everything is perfect in our life, and this is why I thought it's important just to do this introduction now. I'm not going to say brief because it's definitely not, and just show my own vulnerability. I managed to say this word, yeah, it's a hard one. So I managed to show that I'm vulnerable myself as well. I've broken my heart to the point where it was like so painful that there was nothing else I can do. You know, you can take any painkillers for lots of different issues, but what do you do with your emotional pain? And if you don't treat it well on time, then it leads you to certain things when you have to see a doctor. But treating the energy body at the early stage, this is when you are actually preventing this from happening. And I find it so important. And now, as I thought, okay, let's get ReikiMove out into this world. Now I'm running Zoom sessions every week, doing meditations, and I'm now also doing ReikiMove sessions in our local community park, which is amazing. We have a lovely little group forming. And I'm just so glad and passionate about this message. And I thought it's a new way of looking at your own mind and body connection, and a new way of looking at your own health. Because moving and looking fit is, yeah, important, obviously, but there is much more to it. And I want to raise awareness to the mental side of it. Want to raise awareness to see that you need to find your own happiness inside of you, and there is a way for you to heal yourself whenever anything bad or stressful happens to you, because we are just simply not taught of this at school, which is a shame, right? I think it's something they should be teaching us, not just how much is one plus one, because it's not something what the companies need, right? But eventually you need to be happy, and you need to be able to find your own happiness, and then you can be more effective in no matter what your job is. And then once you find this inner peace with yourself and you manage to embrace your own vulnerability, then everything will open up to you, and everything becomes just so much easier, and you feel this amazing feeling of freedom and peace. So it's something you have to experience, it's something you have to try. I just thought this is the best way I can sum it up to you and share it with you. What is it about? What's my background? Where is it coming from? And what am I trying to do here? So I thought I'm going to bring these kind of exercises to you in short videos that you can check wherever you need it, whenever you need it. And I want to bring some more mindfulness into our everyday life. I want to show you that you can do it in the easiest, simplest way during your own daily routine. So it doesn't need to be something that, oh my God, I need to dedicate myself another hour, get to, I don't know, whatever gym or studio, because yeah, we are in this crazy world which is just way too fast. And I think mindfulness and energy healing itself works if you make it part of your daily routine, of your everyday life. It's not something that would do much to you if you just go and take a 1 hour, I think. Obviously, if you've done Reiki before, you may have had a great positive effect which stays with you for a couple of days, but I'm a true believer that to get the best outcome and to really feel the positive transformation in your life, then you have to do it almost every day. You just need to be aware. It's a different mindset. And yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it there, because otherwise it's gonna be another hour me talking here. So I hope you will enjoy my videos. Feel free to reach out to me, subscribe, so you get all the notifications whenever I post a new video. And you can reach me on an email, info@reikimove.com. Please follow me on Facebook, and hopefully I will see you on my Zoom sessions as well live. Take care, everyone.